ask you about your live performance.
Yeah.
I know you guys are very energetic on set, and
Lots of energy.
yeah. So what kind of artists have inspired your show?
Oh man, artists that inspired our show. Tyler could probably give you tons of them. Like guys in our band are always going to other concerts and sort of seeing what people do. So like we watch like every concert that comes through Toronto. So it's hard to say who influences us anymore because there's so many. Like it'll be like that guy did a really cool thing. Off the top of my head, I think the last two that these guys went to see is they saw U2, they saw Watch the Throne, Jay-Z, Kanye, and Prince. So there's a lot of good talking points, I'm sure, from every single one of those artists.
That's awesome. So how's your tour going so far?
It's been great. That's like our third or fourth show, so it's super early. But like everywhere we've gone, like we've been playing our new album and new songs, and like all the fans seem to already know it and are singing back, and like there's been tons of energy, so I can't complain. It's been awesome.
Crazy stories, past and present, on tour?
Yeah, we actually, in Quebec too, in Quebec City, we had a show where the stage didn't really have any barriers, and it was like right at kind of belly height, so people could crawl up onto it. Really? And there was and it was a circle, so there were people behind you and in front of you. And at one point, I guess someone said like, bring somebody up on stage, and like the whole crowd thought it was like their turn to like get up on stage. And we were still playing, and everyone was jumping and going crazy on stage, but they're like, it's like turning into an elbow fest, and everyone's going, oh, there goes my water. See? There was a lot of that happening on stage, and like someone like fell and crushed a glass and was bleeding, and people were jumping everywhere, and it was just like, this is insane. I was holding onto the turntables, like trying to let them not drop over. It was nuts. So that happens occasionally. I don't think it will tonight, by just how the stage is set up. But there's been many instances where the whole crowd is on stage.
What's the most embarrassing experience?
Embarrassing experiences. Bucky is actually the king of embarrassing experiences. He's done everything from get on stage and say the wrong name of the city, because it's where he woke up the previous day. Yeah. And he's done the like, Chicago, and you're in Detroit, and you're just like, shit. He's also pulled the wrong year. Oh. He mistook the year. Wow. And instead of saying Wintour 2011, he said Wintour 2012. So we were technically in the future there for one show. Or falling. Falling sucks too. Oh, because when you jump around a lot, someone's bound to eventually someone's going to slip and fall. That's always embarrassing.
Or knock out your power cord.
Knock out your power cord. There's a million things that can go wrong.
Yeah. So what would you say is the biggest misconception of you guys?
I think the biggest misconception that I've run into from people who aren't really in the music scene and are just sort of watching things from like the media coverage, I'd say that sometimes we come across as like kind of a poppy boy band pop deal, where if you actually come to our show, it's very different. Like we had a couple singles on the radio that were very poppy, and I think people that only hear what's played on the radio kind of like assume that's all we do, but it's actually very much different than that.
So I have one magazine quoting you as flashy and obnoxious, but fun and lovable. Yeah. Would you say
I'd say that's
accurate?
That's very accurate. We've got less flashy over the years. That there was a time where it was overly flashy. Like, I mean, just we were wearing like crazy shit. It was just like, what are you doing? Yeah. Why are you wearing a pink hat and giant sunglasses? But it was 2005. It was a different time.
What was your last job before doing the band full time?
Last job, I dropped out of university and wanted to do music, but again, when you first start, you have no money. So I worked as a busboy at like a nightclub in Toronto, where basically, and it kind of sucked because all my friends would still go there and party. So I'd see all my friends partying and just being like, oh man, I'm like scooping up cups and stuff. So I did that for probably like a year, and then it got to a point where I could sustain myself sort of off this. So
Just a few fun questions. If they had to make a movie about you guys, what actor would you like to play you and the other guys?
Oh man, I think Kevin Spacey would play a good me, probably.
Yeah.
If he was a little bit younger, but makeup. Morgan Freeman would kill it as Bucky, or like someone like if Denzel. No, Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan would be the perfect Bucky. That's like he is Bucky. I'm trying to think of someone else. Who's the guy from Rocky IV? The really big, tall, beast like German guy.
Yeah.
Lance, like Wundergaard or something. Well, that guy would make a good Tyler. It would be funny. It would be like a caricature. And Marty would be like a really young Larry David who still has all his hair. That would be Marty.
Awesome.
And Pat. I miss Pat. Who would be a good Pat? I'm kind of blanking on Pat. If you know who would be a good actor to play Pat, let us know. Ask us online, because I'm stumped right now.
What about like Matt Damon?
Matt Damon couldn't play Pat.
No.
Matt Damon's too short and too muscular. Pat's really tall and thin and kind of like gothic. If you put like Edward from Twilight on stilts, that might work, but it'd be a stretch.
So, what's one question you wish you had been asked in an interview but never have yet?
Oh man, that's a good question. Honestly, I've done a lot of interviews, and I think they've pretty much asked me everything you could possibly ask me. There's questions that I don't like being asked. I can fill that in because again there's some common ones. How'd your band get the name? Is a common one that I'm just like, oh man, we're still on this. And another one is I heard you guys formed in a grade 8 talent show. That is just gonna never escape us. So yeah.
So, what kind of music are you into right now? Like, what's in your iPod?
Right now, my iPod, I listen to a lot of rap and like leaning towards kind of like gangster rap. So I listen to like right now I'm listening to like a lot of ASAP Rocky and Rick Ross and just dumb shit and like Waka Flocka Flame. But like other than that, I listen to still like a lot of old music, like a lot of breaks from like artists like El DeBarge and just like funny old tunes that like are like, this is awesome. Yeah, so I'm still into that. And obviously I'm into a lot of electronic too.
Okay.
So a lot of mashups and dubstep and all that kind of stuff I've been into for a while.
Oh, nice. So do you have any plans for the next album? I know you're doing some...
Plans, nothing like concrete. Like we have songs that are written that we're like, these are cool songs, but we don't have a plan yet. Like the new record is like still so fresh in terms of we just dropped it like 4 months ago. This is the first time that we're playing any of it live or touring it, so we're still very much in the mindset of like, let's try and get this record sounding as good as possible live and like go out with it, and then hopefully by that time things will be shaping up for a third one. Not giving up when it looks hopeless. I think that is the biggest challenge of when it's just like, because we've been doing it for so long that there were a ton of years where it was just like, okay, a full year has gone by, nothing's happened, we're still playing the exact same venue for like no one. Most people would be like, screw this, like I'm going back to my mom's house, I'm going to go get my degree. But everyone just stuck with it and kept going and going and going, and then eventually it worked out for us. So I think that was the hardest part.
So is there one song you love to play live and another one you're starting to get tired of?
Oh man, honestly, like there's like 5 songs in this set now that I love to play because they're still so new and I like the songs, like I haven't played them out yet. I really like I Want It All. I like White Flags and Professional. I like the hard ones. Songs that I'm sick of playing. I don't know if I'm sick of playing any songs that we're actually still playing in our set. I guess I could say I was a little sick of playing Your Man, but it still gets such a good response from the crowd that it's still fun to play. It's like, even if I've heard it a million times, it's like, all right, they're going insane. Let's just do it.
No, talking about your album, I know it took like quite a long journey. You recorded or wrote some songs as early as 2006.
Yeah, we're really weird like that. We just continue to write every year. So it's come time to make an album. It's like you have all the stuff you just made, and you have all the stuff you've been making your whole life, and it's like, I really love that song, and it's not on an album yet. So it's just like there's so much to pick from that you end up with something that's like songs from a while ago, songs from right now, and this album is much more songs from now. Like a lot of these songs were written in the past year, and there's a couple on there. Like we put Grind on there, which we wrote like 6 years ago, and have had that song and been playing it live forever. But again, it was like a fan and a band favorite, which we never had on the first album. So it's like we got to do something. You know what I mean? And just get it out there and put it to bed.
So like, what has this meant to you on a personal level compared to like other releases, your past ones?
On a personal level, well, it makes me, I like it a lot more because a lot of the stuff I do, I'm a rapper and I do a lot of lyrical stuff, and it's like I like to say and to rap about things that I'm currently thinking and sort of going through, as opposed to like rehashing something that I did a while ago, and that can sort of, it feels like you're acting at points because it's like this isn't really me anymore and this isn't really what I'm doing. But a lot of these songs are like, it feels like, okay, it's perfect. I'm saying what I want to say, and it's working.
If you weren't writing music and playing music, what do you think you would be doing?
I'd still be writing music and playing it. I think I'd be doing that no matter what, just on what kind of a scale, I don't know.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't be in front of a giant banner of my own logo, but I'd be doing something in my room or in my basement. But like as a job or a profession, I probably would be doing something in the world of music and or film. I was always into film. I did I did a number of summers as like a production assistant on film sets, and I always thought that I was kind of gonna move up and do that. But this is way more fun. This is what I come home and do on my spare time. So still the passion.
So where do you see yourself in the band in 10 years from now?
Oh man, I can't see that far ahead. Like it's like I don't know what we're gonna be doing in 2 years. So it's like that's one of the things I love about it is things change so much for the better or for the worse. It's just guaranteed that nothing is ever stays the same. So it keeps it exciting, and I can't really predict. I have hopes of where we might be and fears of where we might be, but I don't know where we're actually going to be.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
Yeah, we're blowing up.